Hello and good morning. So we're going to do a sitting class today and we're going to do quite a lot of stretches, I hope. So you need to make sure that you're going to be comfortable sitting on the floor. For some people that involves getting a bit of height. So if you need to sit up on a low stool, then that's fine. And in fact, if you need to sit on a chair, that's also fine because you can do the upper body ones and still get the benefit. So we're just going to start off with our legs crossed, if that's possible for you. Or if that isn't happening, then you can have the feet out in a position that you can manage, or you can have the soles of the feet together and have them quite far away, which makes it easier just to open the knees out. So I've got my legs crossed, I've got my right leg in front, and we're going to think about our spine, just get our balance. So we're let the sit bones descend down. So sit up straight, Kirsten. You want your spine to be straight. So one vertebrae is going to be stacked on top of the next vertebrae. So take the arms out to the side. And we're just going to breathe in through the nose, out through the nose. So let's see if we can get a lovely Ujjayi breath going. Remember, with the yogic breath, the Ujjayi breath, you breathe in and out through the nose, but you imagine as you breathe in, you're taking the breath in through the front of the throat, and as you breathe out through the front of the throat. So thinking about the crown of the head, let it lengthen up to the ceiling. Think about your sit bones, let them descend down into your block or mat. And now we're going to think about the back of the waist, because we want to make sure we're not pushing the waist forward. Just let the back of the waist settle back so that your sit bones are descending, and that way you get the lift up from the pelvic basin. Keep the shoulders rolling back and down and the head reaching up for the ceiling. So we're just going to sit like this for a few breaths. In through the nose, dropping the shoulders down away from the ears. Nice. And then from there, let's inhale, bring the shoulders up to the ears and exhale down. Inhale, shoulders up to the ears. Let's involve the arms. So we'll just take the arms out like we're like a bird with slightly unstretched wings. Up, squeeze up, exhale down. Squeeze up, exhale down. Squeeze up. See if you can really squeeze the shoulders into the neck and down. Right, let's take that into a rotation. So we're rolling forward. Let's see how big a rotation we can make. You might start to get a little bit of crackling going on. Let the breath come into the body, so we're really getting that Ujjayi breath going. Right, change the direction of those rotations. Lovely, and release. Okay, so we'll finish with a back and down. Get our lovely length between the shoulders and the ears, making as much space. And we're going to just take our arms out to the side. Now, don't lift them too high, so you can have them slightly lower than shoulder height. What we're going to do is little circles, but this time not involving the shoulders. We're not lifting the shoulders, but we're rolling in the shoulder blades. So you want to get a little rotation going in the shoulder blades. So you're not really at this point doing much with your arms. Keep the shoulders down away from the ears. So you're really lengthening up. Okay, and then we'll change that rotation. We're just trying to isolate the shoulder blades in in that movement. Everything tends to get a bit fused, doesn't it? We're trying to separate that out. Okay, and relax for a moment. Breathing. You can have the hands on the knees to help you push slightly against the knees to help you get your lift up. Long spine from pubic bone to sternum, as long as you can be. Okay, now we're taking the arms up again. This time we're going to let the arms go back. So you're letting the little fingers go back behind you. But at the same time, don't lift the shoulders, keep them down away from the ears. So it may be that you need to do that with your arms a little bit lower. But if you can get the arms shoulder height and also maintain that length through the neck. That's it, Kirsten, over here. Beautiful. Okay, and last one. Okay, just have a little rest. Lifting the arms again, we're going to go the other way. See how far back you can get the little fingers behind you before you make your upward movement. Yeah, just start off nice and low. If you find that it's involved, if you have to lift your shoulders, just do the movement from lower down. Gradually, you'll be able to take your arms higher. So let's do 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are you squeezing your shoulder blades there, Hazel? Looked a bit like you're just doing it in the wrist. So you really have to squeeze your shoulders so you're broadening it across the front of the chest. Let's just do 3 more to each side. 1, open the chest. So let the sternum come forward as you do it. Good, change direction. Sternum forward, sternum forward, sternum forward. Yeah, good, lovely. And then release. Okay, right, taking our belt behind our back. And you can have the belt as wide as you need to have it. Just send that belt away. And squeeze these shoulders together again. And then we're going to just exhale. Watch your back of the waist is still back. Don't hollow. Let the sit bones descend. And then we're just going to try and see if you can lift the arms. 1 and down. Lift and down. Lift and down. Lift and down. Keep these shoulders squeezing together. Keep the sternum forward. Right, 5 more. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. Great, yeah. Lovely. Now we're taking our belt. If you've got a stretchy belt, we'll use the stretchy belt, but otherwise we can use the yoga belt. I'm going to take the arms up in the air. Over our head. Now, if you do that, keep your shoulders down, and if that's quite hard for you to do, then you can have your belt forward. If you can get the belt over the head while maintaining straight arms and shoulders down, then do. But if you find that you're starting to hump your shoulders in, just drop your arms a little bit. And then as we exhale, we're going to just see if we can stretch the band and hold. Keep the shoulders down, away from there. Hold, stretch and hold, and release. Stretch and hold, and release. If you've got a very, if your band doesn't have much resistance to it, you can, or if it's too stretchy, you can always double the band, which makes it slightly harder to stretch. My band's fine, but if you've got one, you know, these bands come in different resistances. Hold, hold, shoulders down, hold, shoulders down. Last one, hold, shoulders down. Great. Yeah, if you don't have a stretchy band, you can do the same thing. If you get your belt and make a loop that's shoulder width or slightly wider. And then we just do the same thing, but we catch our hands in the belt, and then as we exhale, we just push into the belt as if you were trying to pull it apart, and then just relax, and again, pull into the belt. Keep the shoulders down, away from the ears, and relax, pull, and relax. Yeah, release. Hazel, when you're doing that, can you try not to separate your wrist and your hands? So if you're using the stretchy belt, when you do it, so you're kind of, you want to keep your hand and your wrist in the same line. Yeah. So you're working right through from fingertip to shoulder, but you're not breaking at the wrist. Great. And release. Lovely. Okay, so from there we're taking our belt and we're lifting up the right hand up to the ceiling. Now as we do that, can we keep the right shoulder drop? And then we're going to let that elbow come, take the elbow, you can use your left hand to help you bring that elbow to point to the ceiling, and drop your arm down, reaching up, shoulders down, back of the waist back, and then we're taking this left arm up and back. So we're going to catch the belt, giving ourselves time to warm into that. And then stretching through the spine, shoulders down, crown of the head lifting. What's happening to the back of the waist? Don't hollow, let the back of the waist move back. Breathe. Ujjayi breath. Now see if you can catch a little bit tighter. Really long spine, crown of the head lifting. Lovely, and release. Just ease out on that side. So as I say, all of these upper body ones can be done even sitting on a chair if sitting on the floor is not happening for you. Let's just switch the cross of our legs, shall we? So if we stretch out the legs, give them a little shiggle, and cross again, but this time bring the other leg in front. So in my case, that's the left leg. And always with legs, if you have them crossed, and if you feel any issue with the knee, you can just pop something under your knee to give it any support that you need. Especially with knees, it's really important that you don't strain your knees. So if you are in a position, don't let your knee go pulling against it, because if you do overstretch a knee, it usually take quite a long time to recover. So it's not something you want to risk. So let's take the left arm up now. Let's just get a lovely stretch up to the ceiling, keeping the shoulder down, getting our straight body, and then we're going to just drop the belt. So this elbow now points up to the ceiling, and you can use your right hand just to move your elbow back slightly, opening the chest. Now as you do that, you may find that your back starts to hollow, so then resist the hollow back, and notice as you let the back waist settle back again behind you, you'll feel that more in the upper chest, in the dorsal spine. So just take a moment to warm into that, and then we're taking that right hand, reaching behind us to catch the belt. Just give yourself as much space as you need. It's quite important with this as well to keep your body in a neutral position. So if you find that you're catching and it's causing you to tilt your body, then just give yourself a little bit more belt. The stretchy belts are quite good this way because if you need the extra stretch, they'll naturally just give it to you. And we're breathing. So let's see if we can just hold this, closing our eyes. Breathing in through the nose, back of the waist back. Sit bones descending. Shoulders rolling back and down. And then see if you can catch a little bit more. As you've been warming up, you might be able to walk your hands down a little bit. Back of the waist back, shoulders rolling back and down. Both sides of the waist even. Lovely, that's nice, Kristen, lovely. Good. And then just release. Great, and then we'll just gently ease out. Okay, so now put hands on the knees, get up really long, rolling our shoulders back and down. And we're going to just turn to the right. So we're bringing our upper body, our trunk, in a 90-degree angle to the legs. So you can use your left hand against the left knee just to help you get that little rotation. Keep the spine lifting. Keep this, your whole crown of the head reaching up to the ceiling. Breathing. Shoulder rolling back and down. You can think about activating your core so you're drawing your belly in and up. And then back to the center again. So we're going the other way. Again, as you turn, you're just rotating on your axis. So you don't need to twist, just turn like a corkscrew. And if it means you don't go very far, that's okay. So we can have the right hand against the right knee. Get that lift up, feel the lower abdomen drawing in and up. And beginning to rotate to the left. And then release. Lovely, good, okay. Right, let's just give our legs a little bit of a shake out. So we're sitting on whatever height works for us, and we've got our sit bones descending down. We've got our legs out in front of us, and we're just going to bring the right foot up. Now, holding on to the right knee. Again, we're getting as much height as we can. Breathing. Take the right knee in the left hand, and we're going to lift and see how much turn we can do. Breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. So try to think about bringing that left hip bone towards the right hip bone. And then if that's okay, you can catch your knee with your elbow. So we keep turning to the right. And then if that works, if you want to do it even tighter, bring your heel up close into your body, and you bring your foot close into your thigh. And see if you can get your elbow right over, up and over the knee. And then pushing against the back of the knee, the side of the knee. Turning. trying to working the elbow down the leg. And then at the same time as we're turning, we're also trying to lift and lengthen through the spine. Lovely, and then release. Okay, let's swap legs now. So we're bringing the right leg up and the left leg in. Just we'll start off giving yourselves a little bit of space so your heel's a little bit in front. Knee points straight up to the ceiling. And then we start to get our height, and then we're rotating on our axis over to look to the left, over the left shoulder. Just keep that back waist back. You may find that it helps to have a little bit of height in order to get this lift happening. Okay. And then so either just repeat if that level was fine for you, or if you want to challenge a little bit more or make it a little bit tighter, you can bring your heel in and close to your thigh. But keep that knee pointing up to the ceiling. And then if we can get the elbow, not just a hand, then we can hook the elbow. And if we can, we get the elbow to the other side of the knee. Keep that right heel working. You really feel that squeeze in the gut. Get as much length through the spine as you can. Great, and then release. Okay, right, now we're going to try our Baddha Konasana, but we're going to use supports if we need it. So I'll show you how to work with supports. So we're taking the soles of the feet together and have the heels as close in as is comfortable for you. Now, it may be as you start this, it's better for you to have your heels further away, which does make it a little bit less problematic for some people. And we're going to get as much blocks and cushions as we need so that when we've got our knees open, they're being supported. So you might have to be a little bit inventive if your knees are quite high to find something that works. Soles of the feet together. And we want to have something. So the idea is rather than having so much support that it's actually pushing your knees up, you want to be able to, as you exhale to open, you then feel your support there. So don't have it so high that there's no place for you to exhale and expand to. And as we exhale and drop open onto our blocks, what happens is that your muscles then realize that you're not in danger of overstretching because they can sense that there's something there. So they will then relax and let you open, because if we hold a lot of tension in our groin area, then when you come and start to try and do something like that, your whole body goes, no, and it starts to brace and squeeze against the movement. So you can sit there forever and nothing happens. But if you reassure your body that it's okay, I'm not going to overstretch. Look, I've got these supports. And then these muscles can just go, okay, we can relax. And then, of course, once you relax, it kind of like you can integrate that level of relaxation into your range of movement. So it gives you that little increase in your range of movement. So it's worth faffing about a little bit in order to get the right amount of support there. So as we exhale, we're getting our lift up through the spine, and we're getting that feeling, pushing the feet together, letting the knees open. Once you start to find that a little bit easier, you'll find that in order to get that opening, if you have to think about separating out your big toes, separating out the sides of the feet facing you. So it's more of the little toes are pushing and meeting. So even if there's no movement coming, if you can just get a feeling of your little toes drawing in towards each other a little bit more, you probably feel that, how that helps your knees to open to the side. And that's where you want to make sure you've got something to meet your knees so that your body doesn't panic. And brace, because then, as I said, you'll just get stuck in it in that way. So we have to slightly, in a way, just work. It's not exactly tricking the body, but it's just reassuring the body. Yeah. Okay, so we'll take a belt now around our feet, and pushing up with the belt. See how much length you can get. Opening the chest, really long body. Knees down to the side. Breathing. Shoulders rolling back and down. So you'll need a yoga belt, not a stretchy belt. If you only got a stretchy belt, if you double it, then that makes it even more resistant. So it would probably then work. Yeah. So as we're doing this, we're going to try and get a feeling of lengthening from the pubic bone up to the navel, and just see if you can begin to lean forward a little bit. So as you do that, you'll feel the intensification in that groin area. So again, it's everything gently, and as you exhale, softening. Now, if you find it really impossible to get any forward movement, you could try lifting up, sitting up on something, just to help your pelvic tilt and help your forward movement there. And then if that's okay, you can put your hands on the floor, or indeed you can use your chair at this point and just lean forward onto a chair, so you can have that height. My chair is just out of reach, but you can imagine a chair here, so you're getting a feeling of some kind of forward movement happening. Breathing. Shoulders rolling back and down, so your upper body is soft. And then walking forward a little bit. And hold, soften. And then just with every exhalation, or on the exhalation, you can potentially go a little bit further. Lovely, and then just gently walking back again. Yeah, so with Baddha Konasana, the longer you can sit in it, the more chance you have of softening. But as I say, only if you've given yourself the support, because if you're just doing it with your knees up in the air, your body's going to just hold itself in a braced position. so it's never going to relax. So we're going to just try something though. It's like, you know, to take away your whatever was propping up under your knees, and then just see what happens when you do it freestyle, pushing the feet in towards each other. You can use your belt again. And what you may find is that your knees can actually go further because your body's relaxed a little bit, because you were giving it that reassurance with your raises. You can let your knees open out more. Breathing. Let's just hold that for 5 more breaths. Nice. And then release. Okay, and then from there, we'll stretch out the legs, just give them a little shake. Okay, so I'm going to just bring this chair in a little bit closer because we might need it. And we're taking the legs wide apart now. So again, prop yourself up on something so that you can get a feeling of your sit bones are slightly up and coming around your tailbone is. If I show you sideways. So you want a little feeling of that lift up and over. So if I prop up on that, you see it's just helping me get that rotation. You want to get the rotation in the hips so that you can begin to come forward. Now, I'm not actually much on this, but it's more like a wedge. So it's giving me enough of a lift. Because if you find that your back's rounding like that, it's really, really hard to do any forward movement. So until you've got that up and lift and that rotation, it really helps to just use a little bit of height and makes everything more enjoyable and more possible. Okay, so I'll come back to the front again, and we've got long legs. Right, we're going to take our belt and just put it around the right foot. So we can use either belt will do, but we can. I'm just using the canvas belt, and I'm going to make a loop. It's a bit shorter. So wherever you reach, you may, if when you take your right hand down to catch that, you want to be able to have the belt close enough that you can catch it, your loop. It works quite nicely with a loop because you've got something to pull against. And so we're holding on to the belt with the right hand. We make sure the back waist is back. We're not over hollowing. Our sit bones are descending. And we're just going to rotate round to the left. Breathing. Shoulders down away from the ears. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Now, if you need to, okay, so then come back from that. So if you find that quite easy, then you can just try tightening your belt so that you're having to reach a little bit more to catch and then get the same lift up and rotation. So if you're leaning, if you've got your hand further down towards your right foot, then you have to work a little bit harder to get your rotation going. Keep the left hand in line with the left shoulder. Now we're going to rotate that left arm so that the inner arm comes towards the ceiling and the palm to the ceiling. And then see if you can bring the inner arm to the ear. And then as you exhale, just Stretch the arm up over the right foot, the right leg, I mean. And as you turn, can you look underneath your armpit? So if you find that quite hard, then just don't go down so far, and you can just turn from wherever you can keep your lovely straight arm. Some of you, if you're very flexible, can get your elbow down on the floor, and then you're working against, pushing against your leg to get that lovely rotation. Breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. Keep turning, keep looking up underneath the armpit, so you're trying to bring your whole trunk to face up towards the ceiling. Lovely, and then inhale to release. Great. So we'll try that. To the other side. Slipping a bit here. Okay, so we're going to take our belt to the left side. Give yourself as much space as you need. Initially, we won't go to our max. Get our lovely lift up. We're stretching through the legs. The heels stretch away and the toes point up to the ceiling. Lovely long body from sternum, from pubic bone to sternum. And we're turning to the right. Breathing as much height as you can. Ah, that's lovely, Victoria. Beautiful. Shoulders down, away from the ears. And then release. Okay, so that now we're going to see if we can head down a little bit more. You might want to tighten your loop, catching the left side, and then rotating. So you want to have your left side facing in the direction of your left leg. So as you turn, it's like you're trying to get lined up to lay your left side along your left leg. We're going to bring the right arm up and then rotate our right arm so that we're rotating the inner arm as well. Bring the right arm in line with the ears. Now watch what your head's doing there, Hazel. Keep your ear near to your upper arm so you're not collapsing in the head. Lovely. And then pushing against your leg, rotate, look underneath your armpit. Those of you that can go lower, if you can bend your elbow, bringing your elbow to push against your knee. Breathing. So just hold for a bit. Don't go so far that it's stressing you out. Keep turning your trunk to look underneath your armpit. Like you're trying to roll your trunk. Yeah, beautiful, Victoria. Lovely, that's nice. Preston, yeah. You're trying to rotate your trunk to face up to the ceiling. And if those of you that are well down can catch your foot if it's happening. So you catch your left foot with your right hand. And then to come up, lengthen through your body and come up. Great. Okay, so before we leave our wide legs, we're going to take our chair. I'll just put this sideways so it's not blocking the view. And then See if you can just come forward a little bit. As you do that, get a lift up from your belly, lifting up through the front body. Keep your shoulders back and down. Notice how you have to work your heels. So your heels are activated, they're being stretched down, and it's almost like you use your heels to pull you forward, a bit like oars in the water. You push the heels down to bring you that forward movement. And obviously, if you're able to, you can dispense with the chair. Maybe put some. I've got some blocks that are quite good because they don't slip. You can think about getting as much length as you can. So you're going to be feeling that in the groin. So we're not diving down. We want to keep the front body really long. Just find the right resting position for you, however high or low that is. Some of you can just flop down and get your forehead on the floor, that's fine. Breathing in and through the nose. Out through the nose. And you may find as you hold that position that you can just inch by inch come a little bit lower. Working your way down. To lengthen the spine. So you're just inch by inch allowing yourself to bend forward. Lovely. And then we'll just slowly work our way back up again. Very nice indeed. And then we're going to bring our legs back together and give our legs a little shuggle. Great. Okay, so from there we're going to go on into kneeling. So I'll give you an alternative if you're not kneeling, but we'll start off. Yes, I'll show you the pose. We're going to do this pose kneeling. So if you're not kneeling, you can lie on the floor and you can just cross your legs and bring your knees towards your chest. So I'll just show you what I mean. So this is what we're going to be doing. So you can get into this position. I'll show you how to do it in a minute, but if you can get into it, just off you go. Otherwise, if you're lying on the floor, bring your knees up, cross your knees and just pull your knees towards you. So it gives you a similar movement. It's not quite as strong because you've not got gravity working with you. All right, so we can do this from kneeling. Bring the right knee forward and then open out your heels. We're going to sit between the heels. Now for some people, getting all the way down to the floor is just not quite happening. So in that case, you can use something under your bottom. Yeah, potentially, I think, Kirsten, use your chair. Start off maybe with your legs on the chair, and then you cross and you've got a little bit of resistance with the chair, which will give you a bit more benefit. Okay, so you've got your right knee on top of your left knee, and you hold, let's catch, and we're getting as much lift as we can. See if we can get the knees as close together as we can, and think about drawing the lower abdomen in and up. Shoulders rolling back and down. Lovely. Now taking the top arm up, we're going to swing back to catch. So you can just stretch your arm. If you're working from the floor, you can just stretch your arms over your head to activate your arms. Or you can do this from a lying position. Yeah. Now, as you're doing this, notice that your shoulders might want to come up, so resist that. Let your shoulders drop. You can let your fingers point up to the ceiling. Keep the elbows at the same height as your shoulders. Keep your shoulders dropping. So if you're doing this from the floor, your fingers should be pointing back behind you. Your palms together and your fingers pointing back behind you. With your thumb in front of your face. Lovely. And then we're going to release that and lift up and over. See if there's any forward movement. So if you're doing this from the floor, kind of squeeze your knees a little bit closer. And as you lean forward onto your knees, you'll probably get a little hip stretch. So I'm going to just hold that. Lovely, and then coming up, and we're going to now do a little twist. So if you're doing this from the floor, you can take your knees to one side. You can twist with your legs rather than your upper body, but if we're doing it sitting, we're going to twist with the upper body. So our knees pointing forward, take the left hand against the knee, the top knee, and just rotate to the right. Breathing. If you find that easy, you can slide your arm down the leg so that it intensifies that stretch. And then back to center. We'll go to the other side. Right hand sliding down and rotate. You can have something on the floor behind you if that helps you. Something to stop you slipping, gives you a little bit of purchase, so you can get around a little bit more. If you're doing this from the floor, then you can always just take your knees to the right and then take them to the left to get that rotation. Draw your belly in and up. Nice, and then release. Great. Okay, so to come out of that, we're going to take the knees the other way, but if you want the little frisky way, we can take the arms up, take a breath in, and as you exhale, just roll onto the knees and then uncross them, and then we're going to cross the other way. So it's the left knee now in front of the right knee. So if you're working from the floor, just cross your legs now the other way. So if you're lying on the floor, cross your left knee over right, or the opposite of what you just did anyway. Lovely. Now see if we can get that knee, work it round, working our heels back behind us. If we need to sit on something, then do that. And then catching the knee, we want to get as much height as we can. You can bring the chin towards the sternum and just see if the sternum will come up now towards your chin. And just sit up as high as you need to in order to facilitate that movement. Yeah, that's it, Kirsten. Nice. Yeah. Really. Shoulders rolling back and down. Nice. And then we're going to bring the left arm up the same side as the top leg and swing round to catch. So if you're doing that on the floor, you can just take the arms up in front of you and lift the elbows to shoulder height, palms facing up to the ceiling, or if you're on the floor, they would be facing back behind you and your thumbs facing down towards your face. See if we can get the elbows raised towards the shoulder height. Keep our shoulders down. Lovely, and then release, and we're going to do a little forward stretch. If you're on the floor, just squeeze your knees even closer, lengthening from the lower abdomen to come forward. We can use our chair to come forward too, or if we can, fold over our leg. Just have the arms out to the side and spread the weight through the hands as works for your body. Because when you press down on your thigh, you're going to feel the squeeze more strongly in the hip, in that left hip. So just soften into that, and gradually you might be able to take the weight off the hand, so all the weight's pressing down onto your leg, and you'll feel that in the hip. Ujjayi breath. So take the breath in and out through the front of the throat. And then coming up. Lovely. Okay, catching the knee, we're going to take the right hand on that left knee and turn, rotating on our axis, rotate to the left. If you find that easy, you can work your hand down the leg so you get a stronger rotation. Use something on the floor if that helps you not to slip and get more purchase. Keep turning. Shoulders down away from the ears, lovely. Yeah, use your arm on the other side of the knee, Victoria, just to get a little bit more purchase. Really pushing. Oh, you are doing that, yeah, that's great. But really push against the arm just to help that rotation around the axis. There's a corkscrew movement of the spine. Lovely, and then changing side. So get our straight position again, and we'll go to the other side. Lift and turn. Breathe, working the hand down as we can. Lovely, and then release. Brilliant. Okay, and then from there we're going to lay on the floor. So if you want to have a blanket handy, then do, because we're going to go into a little relaxation. But before we do, we'll just hug our knees to the chest for a moment. We can just make little circles with our hips to the side and back. And changing direction. Lovely. And then we're going to stretch our legs out. Now, you can put your legs up on your chair, which I would, if you've got a chair handy and if you quite like that position, I would recommend that. Or you can just be in a straight line, put your blanket over you. We're going to let the knees go out, flock away from each other. The toes fall away from the heels. Have something under your head if you find that your chin sticks up in the air. Shoulders tucked under. Fingers curl. Just taking a moment just to allow the whole weight of the body to fall onto your mat. And then slowly we'll just take a deep breath and move our fingers and toes. And stretch our arms and legs. And then bringing your knees up to roll onto one side. We're going to get ready to finish in a sitting position. You can take a moment on one side. And then when you're ready, going back to our start position, sit bones descending, lengthening up through the crown of the head, shoulders rolling back and down. Thank you. So if you like this video, please like and share. And also if you'd like to leave me a comment about how you got on, I will be very pleased to hear from you. Thank you.